Breaking news tonight from the outskirts of a California cemetery. We have evidence that a zombie apocalypse is occurring as we speak.
But for those of you in the wet shaving hobby, there is hope from Barrister and Mann.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, come on in the live chat, meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we have been going through the razors we have in our den. And today's razor is the aluminum razor from the Razor Company.
Y'all, this razor blew my skirt up so far when I first tried it, mostly because the price point might make you think this is more of a budget razor. Well, it is not. It functions as beautifully as the big boys in my cabinet, and it has a way of making it magnetically stick to my face and hold that angle all the way around my twists and turns. I'm not sure how, but some of the other brothers and sisters in the hobby have experienced the same thing. Put it in the comments if you know. And there's a stainless steel version and even a plus aggression version that has recently been released. We are excited to explore that. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Lyssa, which I saw this label go by a long time ago, and I'd looked for it, but it was unobtainium. And one of our Whiff Pack members, Zane, found it and sent it to us.
Buddy, we could not be more grateful because he knows we live on the boundaries of my family's cemetery and we might really need this someday. Let's meet it. All right, y'all, this is temporarily unobtainium from Barrister and Mann, but we did procure the original sales page from Will. So here it is from Barrister and Mann.
Barrister and Mann is proud to announce our collaboration with local research laboratories to bring you the world's first fully functional zombie repellent. After careful study and experimentation upon captured zombies from a local reanimation, known in the annals of history as the Templeton Cemetery Incident, these labs have developed an aroma-based agent to keep the undead at bay, christened Lyssa by its creators and conveniently packaged in a shaving soap, aftershave, and EDP. This special blend will keep you safe from even the most relentless walkers.
And they wonder why we got into this hobby. This is exactly why. I love this. Project notes. Despite no longer possessing an olfactory nerve, zombified subjects are inexplicably repelled by certain odors. We have combined several of these, notably rose, geranium, ashes, nutmeg, saffron, sage, oud, labdanum, oak moss, patchouli, tobacco, and violets, specifically those taken from deceased persons, to produce a working zombie repellent. If you are a working actor in the theater and your family owns a cemetery and a funeral home, every opening night, you're going to get flowers. And the card is going to say, our deepest sympathies on the loss of your beloved Danny from all his friends at the Elks Lodge 887.
We have codenamed the formula Lyssa after the virus which causes zombification and have begun distributing it through a local company, Barrister and Mann, in the form of fragrance-equipped survival kits.
And this is cool because your sister's name is Lyssa.
I was the big sister, so I had to lead by example. My sister, in turn, had to test every rule and limit in the best of ways. I may have taken her to get her first tattoo, though,
So during our technical difficulties today, we will be introducing you to photographs of Lyssa so you can make up your own mind. And let's let this zombie repellent out of its box. We have a hard and fast rule here at the Barbershop Duet. We review each and every soap that we are sent. And we are so grateful that Zane, one of our Whiff Pack members, sent this out to us for free to review, and he found it for us.
Yeah,
this
I don't
was
know
not an easy thing to find, but again, he knows where we live.
Did we get a note?
It's a note! And it's a note sealed in an envelope. How nice is this?
This is for real.
Just it's an old-fashioned way.
Marcus and Sarah, thank you for all the work you guys do with currently sitting at 503 episodes at the time of writing this. I hope you both enjoy the soap and aftershave and urge Will to hopefully bring this back for Halloween. We will, Zane. Don't worry.
Hey, buddy, thank you so much for thinking of us and sending this out to us. We're writing all our wedding deposit checks this week, so it's nice to have a little bit of relief for our pocketbooks. Let's see what
You
we
hold
got.
this one?
Wow.
These are packed well, Zane.
This. All right, I'll open this.
Okay.
Open that.
Oh, it's wrapped, and this is fragile. Handle with care.
Look at that. Yo, look at that label. Are you
think there's
kidding
blood on
me?
the
I
label.
know. I
Zombie guts?
love that. Is copper a scent note? Yo, we watch The Shining to relax in this house. Talk about up our alley. We are so excited for this one. Let's have a first impression. Our funeral home was the least haunted place you could imagine. I would just hope for some flashing lights or something every once in a while, but nothing. Well, I guess it's like getting out of jail. What are you going to do? Stick around? All right, I'm going to take this in.
See what
if I
zombie
can
repellent smells
dutifully
like.
describe it for you. Oh, it's a lovely pour. Oh, okay, here we go.
It's Zane's favorite. Does he know what's up?
Wow. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Why did I get an image of you smelling hollows for the first time? This was the opposite.
Oh, this is the opposite. This is beautiful. I gotta tell you, I don't know how fabulously this would function against real zombies. But first of all, I love how clean this goes. We have smelled some scary stuff before, and this isn't it. But this does come up against some of the spiciest florals I have ever smelled in my life. And it kind of gives me that sort of Beetlejuicy haunted mansion, black roses kind of a feel to it, right? And I love how that comes up against something clean that might be Will's idea of a nice aftershave. So you've got both characters. You've got maybe the guy before he was zombified, and then a sense of him after.
Ruh-roh.
Ooh, hold on. There is something dapper and elegant about death. That's what the whole goth thing is kind of about. Black bird cages, wilting black roses, those kind of things. That spooky Miss Havisham kind of elegance is here in these florals. It's wild. Well, the first reason I absolutely love this is the violet tree in my backyard had a super subtle scent to it, and it had to be late summer for you to even get a sense of the floral from it. This is almost like it dove into those violets and turned up the saturation as high as they could until the spice became almost an actual herb or spice. And it just drips in blackish purple colors. This is extraordinary. This is Dracula's funeral. Way more of an elegant soiree than like a memorial service. And then something clean and adventurous on the other side. And that's what's cool. The other side of this has me thinking road trip. Are you kidding me? And I don't know how better to say this. There's something nurturing and nostalgic and motherly about this too. And I don't know how to better describe that.
Okay, now I'm even more intrigued.
Right? Hold on. I don't even know if this is masculine because these florals are so engaging and so deep and so vibrant in their shadows.
Ah, interesting. They did list scent notes of floral. I forgot you said that.
This is like Madame Leota from the Haunted Mansion.
There we go.
This has a feminine bite to it. Okay, imagine florals turned up so high, they're almost wine. And I know what you're thinking. I never drink wine. But sometimes you have to pretend. And that fabulous spicy edge of moss-covered New Orleans balconies of that wrought iron on Halloween. And I just love where this is taking my brain. I didn't know what the movie Beetlejuice smelled like until now. More like a New Orleans cemetery, more like the French Quarter on a full moon when it's quiet, and boy, it doesn't get creepy until it gets quiet. Well, they can't bury people in New Orleans because the water table is too high.
Right.
The bodies just float right up. I need you to discover everything that's swirling
I am
around
so
there.
curious.
It's so beautiful.
I have been intrigued by this for a while. Like, I really was... Is this real paint?
Yes. Well, it wouldn't surprise me because for Will, presentation is really important. I am not starting to crave brains. Maybe pizza.
Here we go.
Take it
Zombie
in.
repellent.
See what you get.
Wow, that needs a long whiff. Okay, I understand what you were trying to explain, and I understand why it is hard to explain, but I also understand why this is Zane's favorite. It's very cool. It's like a whole different character.
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay.
This is like a new genre of music that we've never heard before.
My brain needs a minute. I get the visualization of like a suede-y, kind of velvety, but you know the velvet that has texture in it?
Oh, yeah.
Like I get that in mind, like so it kind of changes colors in the light.
What color is it?
I think it's a deep dark purple, and I'm guessing that's due to the violet magic that's in here, but my brain's just getting that. Maybe a burgundy, I'm not sure. I'm stumped with how it can be so deep, but also so pretty, and also so oddly clean.
That was the whole right-hand side of it for me. Was almost like the guy's aftershave before he was zombified.
Right.
Like, there's just something in there that's beautiful, almost Sauvage-ish, but that is so under the surface, 6 feet under of what those florals are becoming. That's like just the clean, normal guy floor that the scent stands on for perspective, for scale, right?
I do feel like I'm waiting in line to go in a haunted mansion. Like those wallpapers that have the velvety kind of things on the walls, and it's dark, and the candlelit kind of flash. Like there is something off kilter, but in like a really inviting way.
And I wish the haunted mansion did smell this good. It's kind of more of just like a dusty sort of note, but y'all, this goes hard.
My brain almost wants to perceive like that there's gonna be like a mildewy thing or something at this location.
Yep.
There's not. I would think that you'd need something like that to repel zombies more. This smells way too good. Like you said, I'd want to hang out with this zombie, just like. It's almost like there's just a secret in here.
Right.
And I can't figure out what it is, but it's like the best kept secret. So thanks for sharing it with us, Zane, because it is a good secret.
And it's a summer night.
Yeah.
For me. And you know why? The saffron. It's
that what
giving
it
me
is?
that sense of almost a warm humidity.
I'm getting that.
That is what takes me to New Orleans, I think. Because New Orleans is not like stereotypically zombie. I don't know why I'm necessarily going to the French Quarter for this, but I really am.
No, but there's something bougie and fancy about whoever were zombified.
Yeah.
Like they have nice clothing on.
Right.
It might be a little raggedy, but they are in somewhere that has some kind of a fanciness to it.
This is George Clooney if he was zombified.
Like in the Haunted Mansion ride, when you look downstairs and they're in the ballroom having a party dancing, it's those people. Right. They're all dressed up. They had a good time, right? They smell good, but they're just a little dusty.
The Death Day party in the Harry Potter books. That's what this is.
You're right. It was the saffron that was taking me into a different place. It is dark outside, but there's still light, like candlelight. There's still something around.
Bright
it's not
orangey
blackout
color.
black. Like, it's not scary I'm out in the woods dark, which happens a lot with some of our shave soaps. This one, I'm still at some sort of fun party action. Like, there is still something fun about this scent.
And I love that the violet note in the middle is left alone to be a violet note. It's just been turned up in saturation like on Photoshop. So it's the primary spine of this scent.
I see like a black rose too, like a dried flower, like one that was left in a mausoleum and it's dried and it's been there for a long time. But it has that texture and character of it still being a floral.
And it's funny. He did capture something in here that does take me back to my funeral home days. Very often, it would be 6 or 7 days before you would bury somebody ultimately, and their flowers would go with them to the graveside. But until then, the flowers that were delivered by family and friends would follow around the casket to the visitation, to the funeral. And after 5 or 6 or 7 days in the California sun, they kind of get a little bit of an earthy, wilty, syrupy, sweet, aged sense to those florals, specifically the violets, the lilies, the roses, and the carnations. And this has that sense of flowers that are just slightly beyond their glory days. And I can't tell you how beguiling that is, because for me, that's almost where the sense of flowers become a soapy sense.
Right. But if you kind of think about it, like the zombiness, their bodies is still somewhat alive.
That's where she went with that, y'all.
You know, it's kind of verging on being dead. I really wish we didn't know the story of this for a second and we just took a whiff of this. Like,
See what it is?
We'd give it such a different review.
Well, that's interesting because y'all do have a lecture coming from me about expectation in the shaving soap world. I think if you switch exactly the right 2 lids, you might make someone hate their favorite soap because they were told it was gonna smell like something that it really didn't. Like going for a big swig of Sprite, except it's tonic water. So right, if the sales page didn't hint to something a little gothic, where would you perceive this as hitting?
Right? I'm so curious. I would get the florals right away. And I would definitely get the spices and the woodsy side that is here.
Right.
But I don't know if I would go blood and gore kind of zombie fun. I think my brain would think I'm out at like an old house's rose garden or something. Like I don't think I'd get, and it's not dirty. There's just something that's adding an aged thing to it. It doesn't go like, I think someone would be like grandma-ish. It doesn't, but the florals are there.
You know what this smells exactly like to me, y'all? I mean exactly like in my imagination. For those of you who had a GameCube, I had a purple one. Did you play Resident Evil on the GameCube? This was a horror game, y'all. And the difference between this horror game and all the others was this horror game existed in third-person perspective. So you weren't seeing out the eyes of your character. You were seeing down from the corner into a giant gothic library, and you were seeing yourself walking around. So when you heard
Zombies.
You didn't know where it was coming from. And when the dogs smashed through the window, I peed myself. But that was one of the most fun games I ever played, exploring this zombie-ridden mansion and cemetery. And for me, this is the scent of Resident Evil.
I'm not sure when this came out, but the scent intensity on this thing is impressive.
Ooh, and we might discover even more when we build a lather and read the scent notes. I'm going to scoop that into the bowl there. And where did you get that bowl at the very beginning of our journey?
This was my first bowl from Barrister and Mann. I wanted one that you could rest the handle on the side, and I loved the fun, bright kind of yellow vibes going on, so this has been a good friend. And I'm just smashing all the little soap into the little groovies here, so there's no chunks, as Marcus would say.
We don't like chunks. And this is our bougie sprayer from Sean and Julie Smaldridge. Thanks, you guys.
And we thought it was only fitting that I used my brush from Barrister and Mann and Chisel and Hound from the Season of the Witch release. All right, we're taking the dry brush here onto the soap, and we're going one way. It has a little water on it from spraying in there, and then going the other way. Ooh, it's already waking up. And then we at the barbershop like to turn our brush 25%, and we go again to the one side and to the other side, getting it out of those little groovies there going on. And then you spin it, and you keep going, and things are waking up here. I'm already smelling.
What are you getting?
You know, I think I'm getting a little bit of the Barrister and Mann mystique from the base that we talk about.
Right.
Now that I've added, but it really blends into the scent. I almost wouldn't have gotten it until we were building a lather here.
A few moments later.
And y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet, but this is the save the cat or the dog whiff on 3.
So we can only take one pet. Which pet? The cat or the dog?
The cat, you idiot!
1, 2, 3.
It's less velvety, I think.
Oh, kind of almost a soily note.
Yeah.
Going on, that's nice.
There's a little more light up. I don't know, more midday somehow.
A tang to the florals.
Yeah.
Somehow. I know we usually reserve that for gourmands, but there's a tang to this.
There's a subtle shift here, my friends.
All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Barrister and Mann.
All right, we start off with rose and geranium, some florals to start. Beautiful. And then, right next to that, ashes.
That's where I'm getting that sense of tang. Something a little different, but I wouldn't even call it squinchy because it's lovely. It's not meant to be kind of a edge, but it's meant to be something tangy in those florals, and I think it's the ashes. And then this is where it just keeps it from getting too dark. The nutmeg, beautiful,
the saffron, the sage, the oud, all have a character in this.
And I think the oud is what makes it dark, and then the saffron is what makes it summery.
There is some heat somehow. It's not ice cold outside. Like somehow you think like death, it's gonna be cold. But this has a little warmness going on. And then we have our oak moss, patchouli, tobacco, and violets.
Surprisingly, I think the oak moss is the most subdued. here. I'm definitely getting patchouli in the base. Beautiful sense of a little bit of a smoky tobacco. And y'all, those violets for me are just the star. What's the star for you?
It's funny, now that I'm reading these out, I think my brain didn't get which part was what. Like, I almost started smelling the violet at the beginning. It put it in with those other, like, rose geranium sign. And I really don't think I knew that there was any greens in here. Like, my brain was getting, like, more dried up stuff.
Right.
So sometimes we talk about how scent notes can be more like, they take the pokey things out. Somehow, I feel like all of these took out the darker, deeper, drier sides.
That is a really interesting point, because in another world, in another soap, there might be severe pokies in some of these scent notes, but the way it's been balanced, this is like a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
Are you getting the sage?
Oh.
Kind of that's kind of the aftershave, I think, that I was sensing as like the clean guy at the beginning. A little bit of tobacco, a little bit of sage, that kind of a thing.
I would agree. There's something in this that's keeping it clean still. And I think that has a big part in making that happen.
Almost Sauvage-ish for me. And I think that's how. And I think that's the guy that then becomes the zombie. But what might protect us best is the splash when we go on our walk through the cemetery today. Why don't we try that on and go a little deeper?
Oh,
all right, you got to go first on this one.
Okay, let's see. Ooh.
What do you get? It's a little different?
It's a little different. I get more of like an amber kind of a thing in the middle. Like, almost the saffron-y, spicy, boozy kind of thing.
This is different. How are you getting this?
Okay, like the spices... The saffron, the sage kind of woke up in a different way. Like, I almost am trying... Is it like an alcohol? Like a rum kind of a thing? Like there's a spice in here?
How is this both crazy sweet and not sweet at the exact same time? Oh, it's beautiful. Almost reminds me of like a Hawaiian vacation for some reason, but it's not tropical.
But there's something more daytime, like almost sunsets happening now.
Yes, right. This is what I hope my funeral smells like. Can you say that?
But I am getting, as it's drying down, more of the ash... And like the little bit of the older floral side.
Not like a soily note, but an ashy note somehow.
I guess just like a little grungy. Like it's not...
Right.
The clean part is still here.
Aged,
there you go.
Antiqued, patinaed. And now that I'm really being able to take in and understand this balance, it's a lot more masculine.
Yeah.
Now, I think when I was just focused on the violets, that's where I was getting that feminine edge, but I think this is beautifully unisex.
There's something in it that's hitting like the amber kind of side.
Right.
And I'm not sure exactly how that's happening, but there's something in the middle that kind of has that caramely colored to it now.
Oh, right. What if that's part of the tobacco spices?
Oh, maybe. That might be it, actually. Right? I could see that. Like almost like a humidified version of a tobacco thing.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be two brothers who are deciding to play a joke on their sister, Millicent. She's going to go in and have her wisdom teeth removed, but you're going to plan a very elaborate zombie apocalypse prank and hope that her anesthetic is still taking enough effect where she won't exactly know the difference. Well, you're going to have way too much fun with her, and by the time you're taking it on the Ellen show, you're going to get your own. So head over to barristerandmann.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Lyssa, and I am now on a crusade to get Will to bring it back. Something beautiful, spicy, and woody in the middle, but that's not the charm of it. The charm of it is a beautifully sweet, purpley black florals of a funeral home in the 1980s and 90s, and I am so all about it. The spice is beguiling, and the charm is through the roof. I know it's not totally on the crowd-pleasing scale, but I think much like a gourmet connoisseur, you start to search out the more umami scents, the more unusual outliers of the culinary world. There are mysteries and wonders to explore in this and in Barrister and Mann's line in general. Zane, Barrister and Mann, thank you for this. Welcome to Messages.
So for our April giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to First Line Shave.
Yeah, y'all, and all of you have to be eligible to send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com, and then check back here on our first May episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Maybe grab James. What a fun way to present such spicy florals and woods as a zombie repellent.
But it's done in such a different way. Like, even reading those scent notes, I feel like there's just different sides to those scent notes that were used that just have that little off-kilter zombie kind of fun that's in here.
A highly saturated New Orleans midnight funeral among the moss and the florals. Who could ask for more?
Right? And I feel like Will's nose is the perfect one to come up with a scent like this.
I don't think I would have even had to guess whose nose came up with this just reading the sales page. And to Zane and the Wood household, thank you so much for sending this out to us and believing in our little show. We really do cherish it.
And I'll go make my sister take a whiff of this soon.
Sure.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more gothic just watching this.